My top 10 championship contenders for 2026 look like this. Indiana comes in at number 1. You talk about what they've done in the portal. They might have put together kind of the Moneyball squad, right? Evaluated talent better than everybody else. Well, now they're adding the star talent to that. Josh Hoover's coming in. They've got edge rushers coming in. They've got a bunch of really fun weapons on the offensive side. They're going to join Josh Hoover. It feels like Kirk Cignetti is going to reload and try and run it back in 2026. The Ohio State Buckeyes, I've got at number 2. Georgia leads the SEC. They come in at number 3. The Oregon Ducks, a team that I think may be poised to get it all done, they come in at number 4 as Dante Moore returns. Texas Tech and Miami are 5 and 6. I've got the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in the top 10. They're 7th on my list. Texas Longhorns and the Texas A&M Aggies come in at 8 and 9. And then I've got the LSU Tigers in at number 10. The other lists that I've seen thrown around, LSU's a little bit lower on some of those lists. And listen, it's been, kind of fun to enjoy LSU falling into the ranks of the non-essential this season. But you do have to acknowledge that what Lane Kiffin has done through the portal, he's rebuilt that quarterback room. The offensive line should be much better this year, hopefully healthier as well. It feels like the Bayou Bengals might be dangerous in 2026. So don't have to get into this, in a super long-winded fashion, but just initial thoughts from you guys as we start to look forward to next season.
I can't wait for you to put it on Twitter because I'm sure it's going to be very well received by everybody and everyone will agree with exactly where their team is. It's a really solid list. I think it's a lot of repeat teams from this year. And if anything, what we saw last year was there will be some cycling, right? Yes. Like 2024 to 2025, there will be some teams that cycle into the playoff. You have that with Texas and LSU and Notre Dame, right? But I don't disagree with Georgia at all at the top of the SEC. I think that they were really some questionable coaching decisions away from playing for a national title, and maybe this being a very interesting game between them and Indiana. Oregon getting Dante Moore back is huge. Tech at 5 is very interesting to me. Obviously, they got the 4 seed this year. There's not going to be a team in the Big 12 that can compete with them talent-wise. And I think
they're going to run it right back.
And if you look at their schedule, they don't even play the teams that might be able to muster it together on heart and grit, right? So they're going to be right back in the playoff next year. Whether or not they can actually compete for anything after not getting challenged all year is going to be really interesting to see.
Yeah, and I think they upgraded at quarterback. I think when I look at the pluses and minuses, I think there's some questions about, can that defense run it right back, right, with Sheil Woods? They do get some really fun edge rushing pieces. I think the country's going to get to know Trey White from San Diego State. He comes in. But Brendan Sorsby is going to take the cake, right, coming in from Cincinnati, and it feels like he's some premium weapons away from being one of, if not, a top 2 or 3 quarterback in the country. That's certainly what the Red Raiders evaluated. That's what they see. We'll see if the former Indiana Hoosier can reach that championship pedigree down there in Lubbock. But I think any one of these teams, you can poke holes in, you can say this, that, and that's the point of the list. That's I certainly don't think that everybody or anybody is going to be in agreement with this list, but it is. I think it is a fun thought experiment to get into. Garrett, your thoughts on 1 through 10 in this list?
I personally love it. I might change order a little bit here or there, but not by more than maybe a spot. The thing that I love about this is you kind of have a couple of teams from different approaches, right? You have the teams that are running it back with experienced quarterbacks that have been in the system, quarterbacks who have proven a lot, shown a lot, performed on big stages, and quarterbacks who should be primed to make another big jump, maybe just getting supplemented in the portal. And then you got other guys who they're bringing in a brand new quarterback, or they're bringing in, like brand new programs. If you're LSU, you're just bringing in a whole new everything. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see, like, once again, what style ends up winning. The big question for me right now is, if you're looking up at the top of that list, you got Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon down there at number 4. Are we just kind of implicitly assuming, believing, probably rightfully so, that the Big Ten officially runs college football? This is now 3 different champions from the Big Ten in 3 years. SEC hasn't been in the championship game in several years. You have Georgia up there, but you have to start to go down a little bit till you see Texas and Texas A&M and LSU, and we don't see Bama on this list, right? We don't see, I know that people have expected big things in the past from like the Floridas and Tennessees and other teams like that, where, you think they should be a good program, but they don't end up being very much the last several years. A lot of this is starting to fall off at the top of the SEC, and that's going to be a bigger offseason conversation, obviously. But what does this look like now? I think a lot of people assume that there would be just the two big conferences with this new era of college football. I think we're starting to see one of those conferences pull away pretty steadily. If you're talking about the Big Ten.
Yeah, it's certainly cream of the crop. The Big Ten owns college football right now. There's no doubt about it. And to your point, like Georgia, hey, you want to be the top dog of college football? Don't play around on fourth down, or at least execute if you are going to go for it on fourth down, right? If you're going to not take the points,
show up in a championship game, and then we can start talking about you being up there in the elites. Like, you haven't done that in 4 years. Like, you're starting to say that the freshmen that came in the last time that you won your championship are about to age out with you not returning. Like,
right.
That's not good objectively if you're a big time program like Georgia. And we had the conversation after that, Georgia championship of, is Kirby Smart about to do what Nick Saban did, but for like twice as long because he was so much younger? Like, we had that conversation. And since then, he hasn't been back. And I don't think that Kirby Smart's a bad coach. I don't think that Georgia can't do it. I'd honestly be shocked if we get to 2030 and they haven't won another championship. But all that being said, like, they better start getting on top of it, because what they've been doing hadn't been working.
Better get while the getting's good. And certainly I think having the more even playing field, whatever even is nowadays, it's just a fact at this point. It has loosened the SEC's grip on college football. That is an off-season topic that we're going to get into pretty quickly too. We'll roll out those episodes for you guys. We'll do a little bit of marketing and advertising so you guys know exactly when to expect what. But one of the big questions that we will tackle after we talk transfer portal, after we talk some NIL inner workings, is what do you make of the future of college football? Where does the SEC stand in all of this, and how do they get back to King of the Hill? Fascinating questions that I'm excited to dive into.